for Jimmy Johnson in the 48 team. You retook the lead with 28 to go, and then did the car start to fall off when he got you with 17 to go?
I've been loose in the final third of the race and was hanging on there. And when he got back by me, I was hopeful that he would wear his stuff out and I'd get back by him. And then I did, and then I couldn't hold him off. I just started to get looser and looser. So that's all I had, man. I ran the rear tires off the car. I flipped every switch and knob I could in there to get front brake and turn fans off to try to help bring my balance back. But just a little too loose there to get the win. You know, I hate it. We had a very fast race car. I want to thank Lowe's and Chevrolet for all their support, and I wish we could have got this win for Rick's 30th, I guess, anniversary here, but came up a little short.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks.
You wonder what Jimmy Johnson thinks of sharing those Hendrick Motorsport engines with the guy from Stewart-Haas who beat him. Kurt Busch gets the grandfather clock. More on his comeback story when we come back. Michael Walker, Chris Myers welcoming you back on the Sprint Post-Race Show. And Kurt Busch led just 23 laps, but wins this race for the second time. He won years ago in 2002 in a Ford. So add him to your list of 6 different winners to start the season. That is the most. That's a record in the Chase era. And Kurt Busch, who last won the championship, was the first year of the Chase, his only championship. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with an impressive third-place finish today is now your points leader. He's with Matt Yoder.
Another top 5 for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 team. Junior just seemed like a lot of guys had trouble getting that sweet spot with the setup at certain points of the race. You really came out right near the end.
Well, we just had track position, and we didn't like our car all Friday, and the guys worked real hard on it, trying to improve, and we had a pretty good race car at the end. We had to save tires all day, and that kept us up toward the top 10, just keeping the left rear tire on it. And then when it was time to go there at the end, we had a little bit of race car, but it ran out pretty quick. We were out of tires there with 10 laps to go. A couple lap guys, gave me the outside lane in the corner. I'd rather had the bottom. That's no big deal, but that cost us a little bit of time and maybe some wear and tear on the tires, but pretty happy with the result for the Diamond Chevy.
That third-place finish puts him back atop the points.
Well, Joey Logano, you battled inside that top 5 almost the entire day. Was there anything you or your team could have done any differently to get to the front?
You can always look back at it and figure out something you could have done to get better, but overall, the whole Shell Pensacola team did a great job today, and came in fast forward, just didn't quite have enough. You know, we fourth place car, sometimes a third, second place car, and I thought the same cars. I mean, the 41 myself, the 48 was probably the best car most of the day consistently, with the 80. All of us were kind of switching back and forth for what we had there. So overall, at least this is the first time in 2 weeks we finished where we deserve. We've been running up front every week, but we've had something go wrong the last couple weeks. So we get back on this roll again and start clicking off some solid finishes, and those wins will come. We're leading laps in every race. We just got to lead the last one.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Well, at 35, Kurt Busch, with 4 different race teams over the last 4 years, he's been to the top of the mountain, down in the ditch, humbled, worked his way back up. You heard him talk about Gene Haas a little earlier, giving him the opportunity, but obviously he proved he could handle it and was victorious today.
Well, what I saw from him after that mix-up with Brad Keselowski, how he kept his cool. He was able to keep his car going straight. All Brad was doing was trying to lure Kurt into a fight, and Kurt said, no, I've got other things I have to tend to. That's why I picked him and win the race at Midway, because I just like his maturity, and I like who he is today. I like the person that Kurt is. He's an awesome race car driver, and he proved today that he can get it done against the best in Jimmy Johnson.
He wouldn't even take the bait in the interview, the post-interview. During the race, he wanted to punch Keselowski in the face, but he said, I got to focus. We were trying to get a hold of Brad Keselowski. Clint Boyer, disappointed, has slipped away from us, but we will have more from Martinsville, Virginia, as Kurt Busch celebrates in just a moment. On the Sprint Post-Race Show, Kurt Busch, your winner, a race that had 12 leaders and a track record in Martinsville, 33 lead changes, and 14 cautions, the most of any race so far this season. So as we check the points after 6 of 36 races, Earnhardt Jr. moves in front of Matt Kenseth. Carl Edwards slips down to 3rd.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been the best car on average all year long, and he's up in first. But man, you got to win, Chris. We got to win to get in. That's what it's all about.
In that top 30, look what it does for Kurt Busch. We'll see him in the chase, no doubt. Kevin Harvick, who got up in the top 5, who's had some rough finishes after he chalked up a win. You see, he is all the way back at 25th at the moment, but he has that win in the bag. Time for the Toyota Let's Go Places segment, and we look ahead from Martinsville, Virginia, all the way out to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. and the Great American Race at the Texas Motor Speedway, where they'll have quite a crowd on Sunday afternoon. We know that Greg Biffle has run well there. Kyle Busch won that race last year. Started up front today, didn't fare so well.
We're going from the tight confines of the paperclip here in Martinsville to wide open, over 205 miles an hour Texas Motor Speedway down to the corners. This track is narrow, speeds are fast. Maybe one of the biggest sensations for speed these drivers will feel all year long.
And for Kurt Busch, does this change things at all? He was excited to announce earlier in the year he's going to do that daily double Memorial Day weekend, the Indy 500, then the Coke 600. But with that win in the bag, he obviously can even take more risks.
Oh, yeah. Everything is good for Kurt Busch right now. He was able to get through a real tough start to this race and come out at the end by beating Jimmy Johnson. He's looking forward to that daily double now in Indianapolis and Charlotte.
And we'll have more on his victory here. Jimmy Johnson had never lost a race after leading more than 271 laps. He led 296 today, but lost out to Kurt Busch and Company.
It won't turn, it won't do anything, so thanks, Kurt. Appreciate it, bud.
That was Brad Keselowski earlier on the pit road incident with Casey Kane, where he blamed Kurt Busch for wrecking his car, and then they went back and forth. Now, Keselowski, we didn't catch him after the race. He said he was still really fired up, though, and if Kurt wants to fight, then leave victory lane and come on down.
Let's get this done in Texas. Let's settle it when we go to Texas. Go out west and put this behind us.
Let them go after each other. Coming up tonight on Fox, Animation. Domination. Over on Fox Sports 1, remember the truck race because the weather moved? You'll see it live coming up on Fox Sports 1 from Martinsville, Virginia in just a few minutes. Well, Jimmy Johnson may have dominated, still without a win this year. 6 different winners over the first 6 races, but Stuart Haas has 2 cars in victory lane, and on this day, it belonged to Kurt Busch. For Darrell, Larry, and Mike, our entire crew of pit reporters, Jeff Hammond, Michael Waltrip, and our production crew, I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for being a part of NASCAR on Fox, and have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.